this is your parents, right?
Yeah, and younger brother and sister.
What are their names? What's your brother's name?
Joseph and Mary.
And then your father's name was?
August.
And your mother's name?
Juliana.
This picture, was it taken in Russia?
This, no. I say that's about 85 years old. They were born in the United States.
Okay.
These two.
Those two, so they're the youngest two of the family?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you close to them when you were growing up?
Yes. Yeah.
It was Joseph? Joseph was his name?
Joseph.
What type of person was Joseph?
He was pretty much in music.
He was musical?
Yeah, and he was trapping to make money to buy more instruments. Yeah.
What did he trap? What type of animals did he trap?
Weasel.
Weasels?
And skunks.
Ooh. Did he get stinky when he
No,
trapped
he
skunks?
didn't much. Everything was cheap in these.
And your sister, what was she like?
Well, ordinary. She was home and helped the folks until she got married. And then they went on a farm.
Do you know how your parents met each other?
No.
Do you know if their marriage was arranged or if they fell in love with each other?
Don't know nothing about
Don't know
that.
nothing? Okay.
Nothing about that. No.
Do you know about what year this was taken?
About 1985. This picture was taken.
1885?
No, 1985. Because you go by the girl here, she's about 4 or 5 years old. So that made, this picture was taken about I think I had one brother left home and they came home much. They was going to take a family picture, like some people do, the whole family.
Uh-huh.
But we never got all to get together, so they went to this picture.
Okay. 1921?
If these pictures mean anything, we got quite a few of them. Well, all I know is what you see here, that this was taken in Russia.
It was taken in Russia. Do you know about when?
No. My dad's sister married a Wooler.
Okay. And there are chickens in the front?
Yeah.
So is this in Strasbourg, near where you were born?
Don't know nothing about
Don't
it.
know nothing? Okay.
No.
Okay.
My sister, Anne.
What year did your sister get married in?
What year?
Yeah.
Must have, about 1911. There's my folks.
So when your sister got married, do you remember the wedding? Were you old enough that you remember it?
No, I was too young to remember.
Who did your sister marry? John Keller?
Mm-hmm.
Was he from the area, John?
In the Karlsruhe area, he was in the Russian military, and he sneaked out.
Really?
You see, like I said, when they Russianized Russia, no more German, they take all the our rights away. And it was in the contract that they didn't have to serve in the military, the men, but they threw that out. And the boys were not allowed to leave Russia when they got up to 20 years old. So a lot of people, young boys, leaked out. That got too old. As long as they was under 21, they could get out by themselves, but so many got older and that they had to sneak out to keep from getting in the Russian military. That's had it last 25 years. It's just like being in pen, to be in the Russian military. But he sneaked out. He didn't know whether we'd come or not, for sure.
So, when your sister got married, did John and her stay close to the Rugby area, or did they move away?
They always lived. They got married in Karlsruhe, and they always lived there.
They always lived there.
And the kids, some of the kids are still there.
This is you, George, right?
This is the glance. Yeah, yeah.
That's you? When you were 20?
I suppose, or something like that.
What was this picture for? Just because, or?
Just no special.
Was it common to get your picture taken back then?
No, very, very few pictures were taken.
Okay. Would you go to town to get a picture taken, or who would take them?
Well, like the parents and they went to town, but here are all snapshots.
Okay. 1929. That's when the stock market crashed. And do you remember anything about the
Well,
depression?
little and don't remember much, but it didn't mean much to us. It's the people with money meant more. We didn't hurt us much.
After 1929, a term that's thrown around is the dirty 30s. Do you remember the dirty 30s?
Yes, it isn't what they said. It was the good 30s. People knew each other and they visited each other, helped each other. Until the 40s, they started to go on their own. Well, each one wanted the most.
That's an interesting perspective. I've never heard it said that way before.
Yeah, them was the good old days.
The good old days, when people were helping people.
Yeah,
Did you have a lot of good neighbors in the 30s?
they're all good.
All good.
Yeah.
Where were you living in the 30s?
Where?
Mm-hmm.
Near Barden.
Near Barton?
Yeah.
Is that where you and your wife started a farm?
Yeah. We got the folks quit farming in 29. I went out for 2 years with my brothers, away from Rugby. But when we got married, we went to farm next Barden again. And we stayed in Barden until 37. We moved further east, and we was, since 37, our address is Rugby.
And then from
No.
there on out it was? From then on out it was Rugby?
Rugby, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the 30s were the good 30s. What about the 20s? How were the 20s?
Like I said, it was 1 year like the other, not better nor no worse. But it was really very much satisfied, our people, because they was out of Russia. Didn't have to worry no more. That's my mother, yeah. Friesson. Friesson was her name.
Friesen, for her maiden name?
Juliana Friesson.
Was she a strict mother? Was she strict?
No, she was nice.
Was she affectionate? Would she hug you? Would she give you hugs?
Yeah, sometimes.
If you guys stepped out of line, if you guys got in trouble, how would she discipline you?
Well, it was bad, a little spanking maybe, and wouldn't get nothing to eat for a time.
Was she a good cook?
Yeah, she was good cook.
What was your favorite meal that she used to make you?
Borscht.
Borscht?
I think that's the only Russian word we know of. It's a soup, a vegetable soup. Borscht, they call it.
What's in it?
Vegetable.
Is it just all vegetables and?
Well, you have the good meat to start with, bone or meat, and vegetable. And that's a good soup. Everybody learned to know it, but I think it's a Russian word, borscht.
What was the least favorite food?
The least favorite soup?
No.
Favorite food?
I didn't care much for meat.
Didn't like meat?
I like it, but I didn't care much for meat like some do.
How about desserts? What type of desserts would she make?
She had one kind of cake and one kind of a cookie. It was good, but you got tired of it. Same all the time.
Not a lot of variety.
Yeah.
So is this on the farm, or where is this at?
That's north of town on the farm.
What type of car's in the background, George? Can you see that?
Yeah, that's Motherland.
What type of car?
Model A.
It's a Model A?
Yeah,
Do you remember when your parents got their first car?
that was mine.
That was
That we
yours?
was married.
Okay. When did your parents first get a car?
1924.
1924?
Yeah.
And you were born in 1909, so you were 5th?
Not the first year, but the second year, he was 14, I think, and he learned to drive the car, so I lost out on it. He hauled the folks around, and I had to stay home and work.
When did you get your first car?
My first car, 1937. 1937 I got my first car. This is later. The Model A I got later.
You look snazzy. This is a nice suit.
That's about the only suit I had when I grew up. I took brown. Well, just ordinary pictures.
Would your mom buy a suit, or did she make the suit?
They bought them.
They bought them.
Yeah.
Did they buy them out of a catalog, or did they go to a
No,
store?
there's a good store in town.
Okay. Were they tailor-made to you, or did you?
No, just bought out of the store.
Okay. 16 years old, huh? So what did you do for your first communion? What was that like back then?
We stayed. The folks took us to town, and we stayed with a neighbor lady that used to be a neighbor in the farm. She lived in town. We stayed with her for a week or two, and went to school.
So you stayed in town.
Rugby,
Okay.
yeah. And there's another two kids stayed there at the same time, but just like I did.
What's her name?
Mrs. Frank Marusia, Tilly Marusi. She was Polish, and what was I going to say? Being she could talk English or German, she was my mother's best friend. And she was married before.
Polish.
She had a husband before because she had a son. And when you only have one son, they usually think about it more. And she made some remarks. She'd say, my Lucian was his name, Lutz the boy. When my Lucian would go to school, he was right away smart. And another thing she said, my Lucian, he was big when he was little.
He was big when he was little. She sounds like she was a neat person.
And my younger sister, seen on the picture, she stood up for, this little lady stood up for my younger sister when she was baptized. My sister was baptized. So I'm keeping her grave up on the graveyard too.
So was this a happy day for you?
In a way, it's kind of a scary day too. We had we got some lessons, not much, and I had to have two witnesses to do this. And When they started out, they had the high school there just for learning, the high school to see what it's like. And the first band they took up was a teacher from Canada came down here to teach school. And when I heard them ask this man questions, this teacher, I said to my witness, we might as well go home. I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I hadn't that much school. But they questioned us according to our education. And then it was easy.
I did not know that they tailored
And
it to you.
I don't know why my brother didn't get me to go earlier. They went earlier, just one day, a year earlier, I think. They got through for $1. And my meat come to $35, which was a lot of money them days. But it went all right.
I never knew that they tailored the exams to their level of education.
That's the first house we lived in by Barden.
Really?
The 7 children and the folks.
Now, is that the one that caught on fire?
No, the next one.
Okay. So this is the one where you first lived when you moved in.
And this is the next farm. Well, we moved there about 11 until 29. You heard about Dr. Stump.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of him.
He done so much for the Germans from Russia. After he retired and helped them get together again. Rugby moved this house from town to the museum and named him as Dr. Stump's house. Because he done so much for the Germans.
Oh.
You can see that's
That's the one that's in the museum?
yeah. Now Ray Flatlick, this lawyer that got us started in this, he had a recorder in there, I guess that, in the house. The people could come in, turn that on, and then tell them about what it is, what the Germans went through. But it didn't work very good. I don't think it works anymore.
Yeah, it's not in there anymore. Do you have a lot of horses on the farm?
Oh yeah, we had around 20 head.
Did you still play the mouth organ and accordion for your children?
Well, not much. You're not acquainted here. That's my oldest sister and her first daughter. They settled in Canada.
Okay.
We never seen much of them. This is my brothers and their wives.
Okay.
You've been up to 17 and to east,
Um,
17 east. When you get into Worcester Hills, that's where we lived. About 4 miles east of number 3 on 17, that it's hilly.
uh-huh.
That's where the farms are.
Okay.
That's my first car. It said them companies had a lot of ships, I suppose, and we didn't get no further than this.
But it may be similar to what you went on.
Yeah, it's the same name.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Thank you, George.
Yeah.
Thank you.